I'm Kristen Oates-White.
And I'm Avery Davidson. Thank you for joining us for This Week in Louisiana Agriculture, the only TV show bringing Louisiana farmers and consumers together every week. And this week, it's a special edition of TWILA as we're at the American Farm Bureau Federation's Centennial Convention in New Orleans. As you would expect, Louisiana Farm Bureau President Ronnie Anderson was proud for the Bayou State to host nearly 6,000 farmers and ranchers from across the country. 100 years ago, farmers and ranchers gathered in Chicago, Illinois to start what would become the nation's largest organization dedicated to representing agriculture. I think it's safe to say, Kristen, that they would not have imagined that it had been like this a century later.
I don't think so, and I don't see how they could have, because look at all of the things that didn't exist in 1919 that we cover today. Outreach efforts like Ag in the Classroom and all of Farm Bureau's member benefits, workshops on drone technology and genetics, and lobbying on Capitol Hill that just helped oversee the 2018 Farm Bill last month.
Speaking of power on Capitol Hill and in Washington, D.C., for the second year in a row, the President of the United States, Donald John Trump, addressed the General Assembly of the American Farm Bureau Federation.
During his speech, President Trump lauded praise on America's farmers and ranchers, as well as political luminaries from Louisiana that support agriculture. Citing his love for hardworking farmers, Trump promised to continue efforts to expand ag trade overseas, to eliminate burdensome regulations, and continued tax cuts. When President Trump gave his speech, the government was still shut down. While the president was speaking, the government shutdown continued over the issue of a border wall with Mexico. Trump advocated for the wall, but also promised to expand migrant labor into the United States for agricultural use. Trump touted his administration's executive and legislative accomplishments as beneficial for both agriculture and the United States, especially with the recent signing of the 2018 Farm Bill.
The Farm Bill delivers for our farmers on a wide range of key priorities. On critical farm programs such as crop insurance, you will have the support you need to plan for the future. It increases the amount farmers can borrow so you can expand and improve your businesses.
To view the full speech, head on over to our website at twilatv.org. Now, President Donald Trump's appearance was one of the highlights of the convention. Farmers and ranchers were anxious to hear from him after what has been a tough year with the China trade tariffs directly affecting farmers.
TWILA's Tammi Arender was there when President Trump gave his speech and shares with us what farmers across Louisiana thought about what he said.
Oh, say can you see by the
James London Hogg of Baton Rouge, the Louisiana Fiddle Grand Champion, sings the national anthem just before President Donald Trump is brought onto the stage, a rare opportunity for an 18-year-old.
The president is just like an American, just like anyone else, and so but yes, I will say I practice a lot more.
The crowd of nearly 9,000 farmers, ranchers, and foresters anxious to hear what their commander-in-chief has to say, specifically as it pertains to the trade war with China and the partial government shutdown.
We've eliminated a record number of job-killing regulations, and the farmers got hit probably as hard as anybody. We're reversing harmful federal intrusion. And to keep family farms in the family, we have virtually eliminated the estate tax, also known as the death tax.
For the Garrett Marsh family of Madison Parish, they believe Trump is all about making tough decisions now that will create a brighter future for their kids.
He's doing his job. It's just going to take a while. We got to be patient.
There's so many things that he has done, and I do think that that a greater harvest is yet to come.
The shutdown of the USDA is also impacting farmers as they try to plan for this crop season without valuable data normally released this time of year. But Ryan Yerby, a farmer in Grant Parish, says despite the hardship now, you've got to look at the bigger picture.
But it all goes to the greater good. There is a bigger plan, and like President Trump said, the farmers are on the forefront. We support him, and we're going to back him because it's kind of what we have to do.
Well, as you heard from the farmers I spoke with after the speech, they may not have heard that these issues were resolved, but they think Trump is a friend to agriculture and that in the long run, his strong policy on trade and a secure border will be a positive for them and the country.
Tammy, I know that all three of us were in there while President Trump was giving his speech. He really knew how to work that room. I was really impressed with the way he was able to play off of the people in the crowd, referencing Senator Bill Cassidy, referencing the congressmen who were there, Ralph Abraham and Garrett Graves and Steve Scalise, of course, speaking at length about Steve Scalise.
Definitely. He had done his homework before he came here about Louisiana and about what was going on in that room. My biggest takeaway from him, since I had never heard a speech from start to finish, was just how personable he was, what a quick wit he had. And like you mentioned, when things are not taken out of context and put into a soundbite, it was just enlightening to be able to hear him for what he spoke probably for 45 minutes, you know, and I never lost interest. And so no matter what your feelings are on him and on his policy, it was still fascinating to watch him interact with these people.
He had some pretty good laughs too. Prairie holes.
Yes.
The prairie holes was great.
Whatever that
I'm
is.
telling you, there was a quick wit there. I mean, we hear the kind of the biting wit that he has, but he was really funny.
Well, Tammi Arender, thank you for coming out and
you, guys.
spending some time with us in New Orleans.
Enjoyed it immensely.